Good afternoon and welcome to ABC24. Of course, with the water boil advisory in most of Memphis still in effect and this cold weather still all in our minds, we've got meteorologist Corey Smith here. Corey, it seems like we're maybe through the worst of it.
Yeah, we got one more night on the way, and then we are good to go here across the Mid-South. So finally, some good news for those that don't like the cold weather.
Well, the roads have been getting a little bit better.
A little bit better, yeah. And like today, we were below freezing, but the sunshine just enough to warm the pavement, at least on the heavily traveled roads, to clear it up. So small improvements.
Good to know that we're finally getting back to normal.
Oh yeah, and as you take a look outside right now, you can see traffic moving pretty smoothly on the interstates. The interstates have been actually pretty good over the last couple of days, and today definitely a cold one out there. 22 degrees is our official high in Memphis, 13 on our official low, and we're working towards, I would say, around 10 degrees tonight. But take a look at this. This is the view from space. This is from a NASA satellite, and all this white right here, this is Tennessee, this is Memphis right here on your map. This is all snow being picked up from space. So we've got a lot of melting to do, and thankfully Mother Nature is going to help us as we go throughout the next couple of days. But today, definitely a colder one. 21 currently in Memphis, 18 in Truman, and 16 in Covington. We're working towards at least around 10 degrees, if not some single digits overnight. We do have a wind chill advisory once again out for the entire Mid-South, and that just means that if you are going to be outside, you really need to be dressing in those layers because you could at least risk the threat of maybe some hypothermia if you stay out for any longer periods of time. So overnight tonight, you'll see those temperatures continue to drop. We have this Arctic air in place, and as we go into tomorrow, we could start off with at least some partly cloudy skies. I'm expecting at least a good amount of sunshine for your Sunday, and that should get temperatures a little bit above freezing, especially south of I-40. So we will start the warming trend there. A cooler night comparatively to where we have been, and we're going to be back into the middle 20s as we start off your Monday, and that is ahead of our next weather system that will be moving in as we go into next week. So tomorrow afternoon, not bad compared to where we really have been. 32 degrees around 2 p.m. 34 with sunshine right around 4 o'clock. Let's take a look at the upper atmosphere. This is a good thing to look at to show the pattern changes. So we have this cold air in place right now, what we call a trough. This is moving out, and this ridge, or this red that you're seeing right here, is some mild air starting to build into the southeast. And as it does so, our temperatures are going to rise. We actually have some 60s in the forecast going forward, but that comes with some wet weather. You're going to see this is Tuesday. We're going to have a boundary set up really across the southeast and the Mid-South, and we're going to have a couple weak areas of low pressure riding this boundary as we go throughout the rest of the week, and that's going to mean multiple rounds of rain really for the next 5 to 6 days. We're looking at a couple inches of precipitation, which we could definitely use. We're still in drought here across the Mid-South. So the Weather Prediction Center right now calling north of I-40 around 1 to 3 inches of precipitation. To the south, you're going to see that 3 to 5 category. So that's where we could maybe deal with some flooding concerns as we get a little bit later on into the week. But I think the improvements here are going to be the temperatures. 34 degrees tomorrow, mostly sunny skies after starting off at 9 degrees. We're up to 45 on Monday. I expect all of that snow to be melted by the time we get to Tuesday with a high of 55 with some rain showers. And then we are staying wet but mild as we go throughout the rest of the week.
Thanks, Corey. Well, right now, MLGW customers still under that boil water advisory. Now, it's not an order, but everyone serviced by MLGW strongly advised to boil their water for 1 minute before consuming it. That also includes water used for personal hygiene practices like brushing your teeth. And it's not advice for just homes, but businesses also should follow it. Now, this is the result of dozens of water main breaks and freezes, lowering water pressure across the city. MLGW holding a press conference earlier this afternoon to update the public. Now, we had reporters there. There wasn't a ton of new information coming out of it. But again, that advisory is still in place, and we will keep you updated on the latest in our newscasts at 9 and 10 p.m. as well as online. But with that winter weather issue still ongoing here in the Mid-South, unfortunately, there have now been 19 weather-related deaths in Tennessee. The Tennessee Department of Health confirmed that 7 of those deaths were here in Shelby County, the county with the biggest number. That's followed by Washington County with just 2 deaths. But in Mississippi, the state's emergency management agency reported today 2 additional weather-related deaths. This brings the state total to 8 people that have died since January 14th because of the weather. The most recent deaths occurred in Leflore County. And although we are starting to see some roads do better, for many the ice is still there, creating problems on the roads. The type of car you drive can help hinder your drive. This week's crazy weather takes a toll on your tires, leading to wear and tear. Mechanics we spoke with tell us that driving safely in this type of weather comes down to your tire's tread, or how much of the rubber from your tire actually makes direct contact with the road.
Four-wheel drive is better for conditions like the snow and the ice because you have traction coming from all four tires, versus just two. You might have two-wheel drive, either rear wheel or front wheel, but the four-wheel drive is the best.
Another way to check the quality of your tires is the penny test. Take a penny and place it between the spaces on your tire. If part of the coin is covered, your tires are still in good shape. As MLGW customers are advised to boil their water as a precaution before using. In the meantime, some people have no tap water at all. This includes an apartment complex in the University of Memphis area. Residents at Highland Row Apartments say it was Wednesday when they first started losing water pressure, and by Thursday afternoon, almost no one had access to water. In an email to residents, Highland Row management confirmed that all three of their apartment buildings had little to no water service. That includes the businesses located underneath the apartment buildings. Resident Griffin Childers says he hasn't been able to do dishes or wash his clothes. He says he tried to call MLGW to ask when it would end, but they wouldn't give him an answer.
They told me that Highland Row is the one that pays the water bill, so they wouldn't be able to give me any pertinent information regarding, access to water again in a certain level of time. They wouldn't give me any sort of frame of reference for how long it's going to be until they, get the water back going.
In their latest email to tenants, Highland Row said MLGW would not give them a timeline, only that they had several main lines break and crews were working on them. In the meantime, Highland Row management has been distributing as much bottled water as possible, but they said that is becoming harder to find at area stores. In fact, this winter weather, draining taps dry from South Memphis to Southeast Memphis, leaving homes and businesses without the basic necessity we often take for granted. These customers still have very few answers from MLGW. Take a listen.
Their water troubles start with little to no water pressure while under a boil water advisory.
I'm not sure if it was turned off or if it was slowed down or what happened, but when I did turn it back on, there was brown substance coming out of it.
Then for others, the water just stops running completely.
They're talking about boiling water and all this kind of stuff. And I'm like, we don't have any water to boil.
Carolyn Mayfield lives in this Southeast Memphis subdivision near Hacks Cross and Riverdale Road. She's had to get creative to continue cleaning or even flushing her toilet.
So I'm literally going outside, getting snow, melting it, and putting it in the toilet. Because it takes 3 gallons of water to fill the toilet, to flush it one time. Is that enough?
Customers calling on MLGW to be more transparent with Memphians about their severe weather response.
Because we're held accountable if we don't pay our bill. So, water is turned off, utilities are turned off, and so I feel like that they should make better decisions.
And
I think MLGW needs a little competition. Some other companies need to come in here and split off some of this stuff, so that everything is not under one umbrella.
That was RJ Shakur. And the problem goes beyond the city of Memphis. Out in the town of Mason, Tennessee, it's been days without water from the winter weather. And the town's fire chief says they still can't pinpoint the exact cause. Town officials said they first noticed they lost water pressure early on Tuesday morning. But it wasn't until Wednesday that residents were notified they'd be without water. One of the alderwomen says she wants infrastructure upgrades to be a priority for the community close to Ford's Blue Oval City site.
Well, we're just like every other town with aging infrastructure. It's coming apart. This is harsh weather, and the cold and warm and cold and warm is not good on any pipe.
Mason officials said the Blue Oval City team donated more than 100 cases of drinking water to the town, and the fire department is working on getting even more for their elderly and sick residents.